Listen to me. Your future is not some faraway dream. It's not 10 years down the line. It's not waiting for a miracle. Your future is right here, watching every move you make right now. Every choice, every excuse, every moment you say, I'll start tomorrow. Your future self is sitting there, shaking their head, saying, that's not how we make it out. You see, too many of us talk about what we want to be, what we're going to do, how we're going to change our lives. But talk don't move mountains. Action does. Discipline does. Showing up when it hurts does. Your future doesn't care about your potential. It cares about your commitment. It's asking, are you really about this life? Or do you just like the idea of success? You can't keep lying to yourself, saying you want success while you're living like you don't. You can't ask for greatness if you're not willing to grind for it. Every time you hit snooze, every time you quit halfway, every time you let fear talk you out of your purpose, your future self feels that. They're the one paying the price for your comfort today. And I need you to understand this. Your future ain't playing games. That version of you that made it the one standing on stages, feeding their family, inspiring millions, that version of you depends on this version right now. Every decision you make either builds the bridge or burns it. There is no neutral ground. You're either moving closer to the future you dream about, or you're drifting away from it one lazy decision at a time. I'm talking to that part of you that's tired of settling. That part of you that knows there's more inside. That part that wakes you up at 2 a.m. saying, well, can't keep living like this. That's your future calling you. It's saying, come on, don't give up on me. Don't slow down. Don't let me down. This ain't about talent. This ain't about luck. This is about execution. About showing up every single day like your future's watching, because it is. It sees you grinding when nobody else claps. It sees you studying while your friends are out partying. It sees you putting in work when it hurts, when you're broke, when you're tired, and it's whispering, keep going. I'm waiting for you. So from this moment forward, I want you to move different, talk different, think different, because your future deserves more than your excuses. It deserves your effort. It deserves your focus. Do you keep saying, one day I'll make it? You keep saying, someday I'll change? But let me tell you something. Someday in a day on the calendar, your future isn't waiting for some perfect moment. Your future self is real, breathing and alive, sitting there, watching the decisions you make every single day. And the question is, are you making choices that honor that version of you? Or are you betraying them before you've even met them? See, I need you to stop talking about your future like it's a fantasy. Stop acting like it's a dream you can just wake up to one day. Nah, your future is being built right now. Every time you get up early, every time you push through pain, every time you say no to something easy so you can say yes to something greater. Your future self is clapping. They're saying, that's it. That's the one I've been waiting for. You don't become successful overnight. You build success in silence. You don't become disciplined because you feel like it. You become disciplined because you realize what's at stake. Your future is not something you discover. It's something you design. You're laying the bricks today that you're going to walk on tomorrow. I talk to people all the time who say, I want to be great. And I tell them, then act like greatness is watching you, because it is. Your future self sees what you're doing when nobody's watching, when you scroll for hours instead of grinding, when you make excuses instead of making progress. That future version of you, the one living the life you say you want, is whispering, Simon, don't stop here. You're closer than you think. You think your small habits don't matter. You think skipping one day don't count. It all counts. Every rep, every call, every study session, every tear you shed when nobody's around, your future's watching. It's collecting evidence. And one day, when you finally make it, it'll say, this is what you built when nobody believed. This is what you earned when nobody helped. And let me tell you this, you can't meet your future self if you keep hanging on to your past. Some of you keep replaying old failures, old mistakes like a broken record. But listen, Your past can't define you unless you give it permission. You are not who you were, you are who you're becoming. The question is, are you becoming someone your future will thank or someone it'll regret? Your future self is depending on you to make the right moves today. Not tomorrow, not when you feel like it, not after you rest. Today, you don't owe your past another excuse. You owe your future some effort. You owe that future version of you, the one standing in victory, the one providing for their family, the one walking in purpose. You're disciplined right now. When I wake up every morning, I picture that version of me, the one I said I wanted to become. And I ask myself, what's he expecting from you today? Because that's what keeps me moving. That's what keeps me grinding when it hurts. Because I refuse to let my future down. I refuse to make him look back and say, man, we could have been so much more. So from this day forward, I want you to stop living like your future's a fantasy and start living like it's a fact. Because it's real. It's watching you. And one day, you're going to stand face to face with the life you built, serves your heart. Listen to me. Life is not about luck. It's not about who your parents are, where you started, or what's in your bank account. It's about decisions. The decisions you make every single day are either moving you closer to your destiny or dragging you away from it. You're not waiting on destiny to find you. Your destiny is waiting on you to decide. You see, people love to talk about their dreams, but they don't want to make the decisions that come with those dreams. Everybody wants success until it's time to make sacrifices. But the truth is, your life is the sum of your choices. Every yes, every no. Every time you say, I'll do it later, you're shaping your tomorrow. You don't stumble into greatness. You choose it one decision at a time. When I was broke, when I was sleeping in abandoned buildings, I had a choice to stay there or fight my way out. Nobody was coming to save me. There was no magic moment. Just decisions, hard ones. To get up, to study, to grind, to believe even when it didn't make sense. And those decisions stacked up. Every small one became a brick. And before I knew it, I had built a foundation strong enough to stand on. The problem with most people is they want destiny without discipline. They want the results without the responsibility. But hear me. Destiny only responds to decisions backed by action. You can't just say you want it. You got to move like you want it. You can't say, I'm going to be successful, and then keep doing the same things that keep you average. You can't say, I want to change my life, but refuse to change your habits. Some of you are praying for a miracle when what you really need is a decision to stop wasting time, a decision to stop hanging around people who drain your energy, a decision to stop scrolling and start building. Because destiny don't care about your excuses. It only respects your effort. You got to understand, every time you make a decision to grind, to study, to keep going even when it hurts, that's destiny saying, there they are. That's the one I've been waiting for. But every time you take the easy way out, every time you say, I'll do it tomorrow, destiny steps back and says, they ain't ready yet. Let me tell you something, real indecision is still a decision. Not choosing is still choosing, and it's choosing to stay stuck. Life don't wait. Opportunities don't wait. Time don't wait. You think you got forever, but you don't. You think the moment will come back around, but it won't. You either decide now, or you watch someone else live the life that could have been yours. Every great person you admire, they didn't get there by chance. They made tough calls when nobody believed. They chose to get uncomfortable. They decided to keep going when others quit. They made decisions their feelings couldn't undo. That's what separates dreamers from doers. Decisions. So stop saying, I hope it works out. Stop saying, we'll see. No, you make it work out. You make a choice right now to stop living beneath your potential. You decide that the pain of growth is better than the pain of regret. You decide that every day you're going to move with intention, not emotion. Because destiny doesn't belong to the strongest or the smartest. It belongs to the one who decided they were done waiting. The one who said, I'm not going to let my feelings dictate my future. You say you love your dreams, but love without discipline is just talk. You say you want to be great. You say you want success, but your actions don't match your words. Listen to me. Discipline is love for your future. Every time you say no to something easy, you're saying yes to the person you're becoming. Every time you sacrifice comfort, every time you push past the pain, you're showing your future self that you care. See, most people think discipline is punishment. They think it's boring, restrictive, painful. But that's because they don't understand what real love looks like. Love ain't always soft. Love says, I want what's best for you, even if it hurts right now. Discipline is you saying, I love my future too much to keep feeding my excuses. I remember when I was grinding, early mornings, late nights, no applause, no recognition. My friends were out chilling, sleeping in, watching TV, and I was working. Not because I wanted to look busy, but because I was in love with the man I was becoming. I was in love with the version of me that wouldn't have to struggle the way I did. That's discipline. That's saying, I'm willing to pay the price today so I can live free tomorrow. You got to stop running from the process. Stop treating discipline like the enemy. It's not your enemy, it's your protector. It's the wall that keeps your future safe from your present impulses. You think skipping one workout don't matter. You think one lazy day don't count? It all counts. Discipline is what keeps your dreams alive when motivation dies. Because let's be real, you won't always feel like it. Some days, you'll wake up tired, broken, frustrated, but discipline says, we'll still move. That's what separates the talkers from the doers. Talkers love the idea of success. Doers love the process that builds it. When you're disciplined, you stop asking, do I feel like it? And you start saying, is it necessary? Because winners don't operate off feelings, they operate off commitment. Your discipline is your signature. It tells your future who you are. When your future self looks back, they won't remember your words, they'll remember your work. They'll remember the days you didn't quit, the mornings you showed up, the nights you cried but kept going anyway. That's love. That's how you tell your future, I got you. Every rep, every page, every hour of effort is a seed planted for tomorrow. The more disciplined you are today, the more blessed your future becomes. And if you love your future, you'll stop sabotaging it with short-term pleasure. You'll stop saying, just this once, because every just this once pushes your dream a little further away. And I get it, it's hard. Discipline ain't glamorous. Nobody's cheering for you when you say no to comfort. Nobody claps when you choose to grind instead of scroll. But that's the beauty of it. Discipline builds character in the dark so you can shine in the light. So I'm asking you, do you love your future enough to suffer a little now? Do you love your destiny enough to be consistent even when it's hard? Because if you don't, you'll never see the version of you that's waiting on the other side of sacrifice. Discipline is not punishment, it's preparation. Every act of discipline says, I'm ready, I'm serious, I'm coming for everything with my name on it. Listen to me. Every single day, you're either building the person you're becoming or breaking them. You're either keeping promises to your future self or you're betraying them with every excuse, every delay, every time you say, I'll do it tomorrow. Don't betray the person you're becoming. That version of you, stronger, smarter, sharper, disciplined, they're counting on you right now to stay locked in, no matter what it costs. See, betrayal isn't just when somebody else turns their back on you. The deepest betrayal is when you turn your back on yourself. When you say, I want better, but you keep living the same way. When you promise yourself you'll change, but you break that promise again and again. You tell yourself, this time will be different. And then you give up the moment it gets hard. That's self-betrayal. And it's killing your potential. You've got to understand this. The person you're becoming is watching every move you make. They see when you quit early. They see when you skip the work. They see when you settle for comfort instead of chasing greatness. And you can't lie to that version of you because they know the truth. You can post motivation all day, talk about hustle all day, but your future self knows when you're not doing the work. There's a version of you that's disciplined, successful, respected, but that version can't exist if you keep betraying today. You can't keep saying, "On more cheat day, on more excuse, on more break." Those on mores add up. Every small betrayal chips away at your confidence, your integrity, your belief in yourself. And one day you wake up, look in the mirror, and don't even recognize who you are because you kept letting yourself down piece by piece. I'm telling you, it's time to rebuild trust with yourself. You've broken promises before, I get it, but that ends today. You can't build a powerful future on weak foundations. Every time you do what you said you would do, even when it's hard, you're laying another brick in the identity of who you're becoming. You're saying, "I'm reliable, I'm consistent, I'm real." And listen, I know it hurts, change hurts, but so does regret. You've already felt the pain of letting yourself down. Now it's time to feel the pride of showing up for yourself. That's how you earn your own respect back. That's how you stop betraying your potential and start protecting it. When you think about quitting, I want you to picture that future version of you. The one who finally made it, the one who's free, the one who's living in abundance, peace, purpose. Now imagine looking them in the eyes and saying, "I gave up on you." You couldn't do it, could you? Because deep down, you know that future version of you deserves better than your excuses. So stop trading your future for temporary comfort. Stop betraying your purpose for a quick hit of pleasure. Every time you skip the grind, every time you ignore the call, you're stealing from your future. You're robbing them of the victory they earned through your effort. You say you want to evolve. Then prove it. Protect your growth like it's sacred, because it is. You're not just building a life, you're building a legacy. Every action, every sacrifice, every time you fight through the pain, that's how you stay loyal to your destiny. Listen to me. You can't run from pain and expect to be great. You can't hide from struggle and think you're still going to shine. Pain is not your enemy. It's the price of admission for greatness. You can't get to the top without getting tested. You can't become who you're meant to be without walking through some fire. Pain is the down payment you make before success ever shows up. Everybody wants to be great, but nobody wants to hurt. Nobody wants to grind when it's dark, when it's lonely, when it's uncomfortable. But I'm telling you right now, if you can learn to embrace pain instead of avoiding it, you'll become unstoppable. Because pain doesn't break you, it builds you. It teaches you what you're made of. It strips away your weakness, your excuses, your fears, and it leaves behind only strength, focus, and resilience. The problem with most people is that the moment they feel pain, they quit. They back off, they slow down, they say, "Maybe this isn't for me." But let me tell you something. Pain is the world's way of asking, how bad do you want it? You say you want success. You say you want freedom. Then prove it when it hurts. Because everybody's strong when it's easy. Everybody's motivated when things go right. But the great ones, they rise when it's hard. They fight when it hurts. They keep showing up when nobody else would. When I was sleeping in abandoned buildings, hungry, cold, that pain could have made me quit. But it didn't. You know why? Because I understood something. Pain was part of the process. That struggle wasn't punishment. It was preparation. Every tear, every setback, every sleepless night, it was shaping me into the man I needed to become. It was building the endurance to carry the weight of my purpose. You keep asking for strength, but strength don't come from comfort. It comes from pain. You can't grow muscles without resistance. You can't grow character without struggle. You can't grow purpose without sacrifice. Pain is the universe's way of stretching you, of forcing you to level up. And if you can stop seeing it as punishment and start seeing it as training, your whole mindset will shift. Let's be real. Pain hurts. Nobody enjoys it. But the pain you feel today is the strength you'll use tomorrow. Every time you push through pain, you increase your capacity. You expand what you can handle. And that's how you separate yourself from the average. Because average people stop when it hurts. Winners, they lean into it. They say, if this is what it takes, then this is what I'll do. And that's the thing. The pain is temporary, but quitting is permanent. That burn you feel when you're tired, that ache when you're grinding, that's the sign you're alive, you're growing, you're evolving. Don't run from it. Use it. Because on the other side of pain is power. On the other side of pain is purpose. On the other side of pain is the version of you that you've been dreaming of becoming. So stop asking for easy. Stop praying for comfort. Start thanking God for the pain that's shaping you, because it means you're in the process. It means you're under construction. And every great masterpiece has to go through some breaking before it becomes beautiful. Listen to me. You will never reach your full potential alone. You can't do this by yourself. You can't expect to grow, to grind, to evolve if you're surrounded by people who don't challenge you, who don't check you, who don't call you out when you start slipping. If your circle doesn't hold you accountable, then it's not a circle, it's a cage. See, accountability is not about judgment. It's about alignment. It's about surrounding yourself with people who see your potential and refuse to let you waste it. You need people in your life who are going to say, "Nah, that's not good enough. You said you wanted more. You said you were built for this. So act like it." You don't need yes men. You need truth tellers. You need people who look you in the eye and say, "You're better than this." I'm telling you, if the people around you aren't pushing you, they're pulling you down. If they're not challenging you to grow, they're helping you stay stuck. You can't talk about discipline, purpose, and greatness, then spend all your time around people who don't share the same fire. Iron sharpens iron, not paper. If your circle's dull, your edge will fade. When I was building my life back up, I had to make some tough decisions. I had to walk away from some friends I loved. Not because they were bad people, but because they didn't want what I wanted. They were comfortable and I wasn't. I couldn't stay in that environment and expect to grow. I had to find people who were hungry, people who demanded excellence from me, people who would hold me accountable when I wanted to slack off. Accountability hurts sometimes. It stings when someone tells you the truth about yourself. But that sting is growth. That sting is love, because real accountability doesn't tear you down. It builds you up. It says, "I see greatness in you, and I refuse to let you settle for less." You need people like that. Coaches, mentors, teammates, family, who won't let you quit on yourself. And here's the truth. If you don't have those people yet, be that person for yourself. Be your own accountability. Wake up and check yourself. Ask, did I give 100% today? Did I live like my future's watching? Because if the answer is no, then fix it. Don't make excuses. Don't wait for motivation. Hold yourself accountable. Most folks don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they lack accountability. They got nobody checking their blind spots. Nobody reminding them why they started. Nobody saying? You said you wanted to be a beast. Now act like one. That's what accountability does. It keeps your purpose in front of your face when your emotions try to drag you off course. You've got to build a circle that makes you uncomfortable in the best way. A circle where average behavior doesn't fit. A circle where excuses don't survive. A circle where the standard is excellence, not effort. Because when you surround yourself with killers, you become one. When you surround yourself with disciplined people, their energy becomes contagious. So stop hanging around people who make it easy to be mediocre. Surround yourself with those who demand more. People who remind you who you are. People who won't let you forget what you said you were going to do. Listen to me. Your future doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about what went wrong, who hurt you, or what didn't work out. Your future only cares about evidence. Proof that you did the work. Proof that you showed up. Proof that you meant what you said. You can talk all day about your dreams, but talk doesn't build empires. Evidence does. I'm tired of hearing people say, "One day I'm going to make it. One day I'm going to start my business. One day I'm going to get serious." No, today is that day, because your future isn't moved by your intentions. It's moved by your actions. You can't post your way to success. You can't pray for results while ignoring responsibility. You've got to show your future something real, something undeniable. See, the reason so many people never reach their dreams is because they collect excuses instead of evidence. They've got a story for every failure, a reason for every missed opportunity. I didn't have time. I was tired. Nobody supported me. But let me tell you something. Your future self doesn't want to hear it. Your future's not going to ask, what happened? It's going to ask, what did you do? You say you want to be great. Then where's the proof? Where's the late nights, the early mornings, the work nobody sees? Where's the sweat, the sacrifice, the struggle? You want your future to trust you. Then give it evidence that you're serious. Because every time you work when you don't feel like it, every time you push when it hurts, that's you stacking evidence. That's you saying, I'm not talking about it, I'm being about it. I remember when I was grinding, broke, hungry, invisible. Nobody believed in me, but I wasn't chasing validation. I was building evidence. Every speech, every hour of preparation, every tear I shed, it was all proof. So when my moment came, I didn't have to convince anybody. The evidence spoke for me. And that's what I want for you, to get to a point where your work speaks louder than your words, where your effort makes the noise, where people can see your discipline before they even hear your story. Because your future doesn't respond to excuses. It responds to consistency. Let's be real. It's easy to come up with excuses. It's easy to blame the system, your environment, your circumstances. But excuses don't move mountains. Excuses don't change lives. Excuses are comfort in disguise. They make you feel safe while they rob you of progress. Every time you justify your laziness, you're choosing comfort over destiny. So from now on, stop telling the world what you're going to do. Start showing it. Let your work be your language. Let your results be your proof. You don't need to explain yourself when your grind is visible. You don't need to talk about someday. When you're working today, your future wants receipts, not reasons. It wants to see the hours, the growth, the improvement. It wants to see the days you didn't quit, the nights you refused to sleep until the job was done. It's not asking for perfection. It's asking for proof of persistence. When it gets hard, and it will remind yourself, this pain is my evidence. This effort is my proof. Don't let your future look back and see empty talk and wasted potential. Let it see a legacy of hustle, a trail of effort, a life full of evidence. Listen to me. Your future is not waiting for average. It's not sitting there saying, I hope you do just enough. No, your future is standing on the other side of excellence, screaming, give me everything you've got. Because average is the enemy of greatness. Average is comfort dressed up as effort. And your destiny deserves more than average. See, the problem today is too many people want success, but they want it at a discount. They want greatness on clearance. They want to pay half the price and get the full reward. But let me tell you something. Success doesn't go on sale. You either pay in full with effort, sacrifice, and discipline, or you walk away empty-handed. Your future will never accept mediocrity as currency. I see it every day. People with talent, people with dreams, people with potential, and they settle. They settle for good enough. They settle for maybe next year. They settle because average feels safe. It doesn't challenge you. It doesn't scare you. It doesn't stretch you. But that's exactly why average kills potential. It convinces you to stay in a place you've outgrown. Your future isn't impressed by what's comfortable. It's waiting for the version of you that's willing to do the hard things, the uncomfortable things, the lonely things. Because that's where growth happens. That's where you find the next level. You can't live extraordinary dreams with ordinary habits. You can't talk about destiny while living like everybody else. You've got to be willing to separate yourself from average. Because average will always pull you back down. I remember when I was at rock bottom, man, homeless, broken. But I made a decision right there. I will never live average again. I will never give half effort and expect full results. I told myself, if I'm going to fail, I'm going to fail giving on 20%. Because I'd rather die chasing greatness than live surviving on average. That decision changed everything. The truth is, average doesn't inspire anybody. Not you, not your family, not your future. Nobody remembers average. You can't build a legacy off just enough. The world doesn't move because of average people. It moves because of the obsessed, the relentless, the ones who refuse to settle. And don't get it twisted. Greatness isn't about talent. It's about standards. It's about waking up every single day and saying, I'm not doing average work. I'm not living an average life. I'm not leaving average energy in the world. You hold yourself to a higher standard, not because someone's watching, but because your future is watching. When you start living with that mindset that your future deserves your best, everything changes. You stop cutting corners. You stop making excuses. You stop wasting time. You start showing up with purpose. You start moving with intensity. You start living like every action is a message to your destiny that says, I'm serious about this. Average is the killer of dreams, the quiet thief of purpose. It sneaks in when you stop caring, when you get comfortable, when you forget why you started. That's when it gets you. When you settle for less than what you were created for. But I'm here to tell you, you were not built for average. You were built for impact. You were built to lead, to inspire, to dominate your lane. So the next time you're tempted to coast, to take it easy, to say, that's good enough. Stop yourself. Look your reflection in the mirror and remind yourself, my future is watching me, and it doesn't want average. Listen to me. Every single day you wake up, you're making deposits into your legacy account. You're either investing or you're wasting. Every choice, every action, every moment, it's all a transaction. You're either building something eternal or you're burning time you'll never get back. The question is, what are you leaving behind? See, too many people live like they've got unlimited time. They act like tomorrow's guaranteed. They say, I'll get serious later. I'll grind harder next week. I'll start when it feels right. But tomorrow isn't promised, and the future doesn't wait. Every day you spend asleep on your purpose, your legacy loses value. Your name, that's your brand. Your work, that's your reputation. Your consistency, that's your credibility. Every day you either strengthen it or weaken it. You think legacy is built on one big moment. No. Legacy is built in the quiet, in the unseen, in the grind that nobody claps for. It's built when you keep showing up after failure, when you forgive yourself, refocus, and keep pushing. People won't remember what you said. They'll remember what you did. They'll remember how you made them feel, how you showed up when it mattered, how you lived when life got hard. That's your legacy. And if you're not intentional, you'll leave behind nothing but regrets and could have bins. I remember the day I realized legacy wasn't about me. It was about who I'm doing it for, my family, my community, my students, my future generations. I had to start living like my actions were writing a book my kids would one day read. What story am I telling them? Am I teaching them discipline or excuses? Am I showing them resilience or regret? Because one day they're going to inherit what I built or what I neglected. You got to understand, every workout, every study session, every time you resist the urge to quit, that's an investment. Every morning you get up early when you could have slept in, that's equity in your legacy. Every time you push yourself beyond your comfort zone, that's compound interest. You're stacking results that your future self will thank you for. And I get it. It's hard to think long term when you're tired, broke, or frustrated. But listen, legacies aren't built in comfort. They're built in consistency. The grind doesn't pay you today. It pays your future. It's not about how you feel right now. It's about how history will remember you. Let me ask you this. When it's all over, what do you want people to say about you? That you tried, that you almost made it, or that you gave everything you had, that you changed lives, that you left a mark no one can erase. That's legacy. But here's the truth. You don't have to be famous to have one. You don't have to have millions of followers or a big stage. Your legacy is written in how you treat people, how you serve, how you love, how you work. It's written in how you show up for your dreams and for the people who depend on you. So stop wasting days like they don't matter. Every day is a brick in the foundation of your future. Don't let laziness lay the wrong stones. Don't let fear decide your structure. Build your legacy with intention. Because your future, your children, your community, the world, they're watching you. And they need to see what it looks like when somebody refuses to waste their life. It wants excellence. It wants focus. It wants fire.